Guys, one of the things I've been dealing with the truck is I broke the antenna off when I went through a car wash, and I did a video about that, but I've been meaning to get in here and fix this up. Now, as you can see, this thing is broke off, and I believe if we get into the truck that we're gonna be able to access it by taking out these screws and taking out the glove box. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go ahead and try to take the glove box out and see if I can reach to the back end of the radio to unplug that antenna. Okay, I got all the screws out, and for the upper screws, you're gonna need a short screwdriver because a long one will bump in. You won't have room to really get in there. And we are into the dash behind the glove box. So let's see what's going on here. I'm seeing it as soon as you guys are seeing it. So it looks like I'm gonna have access to the back of the radio, hopefully without having to take the dash further apart. It's about as good of a view as I can get and you can get. So let me get in here, dust off the inside a little bit, see if I can figure out exactly how I need to run this antenna wire, and I'll be getting back to you guys shortly. And I was able to free up the antenna wire from the back of the radio, and it goes up into that little bundle, down, and then it's not a perfect look from right here, but and out of the sidewall of the truck. You can almost see right where it goes through, right down there. All right, the next thing I'm doing with the antenna wire is I'm tying a string around it so we can get it through that rubber grommet and then pull the new wire back through. And I'm actually gonna take some Gorilla tape and tape it around the knot just so it stays all together. All right, the next thing is to loosen up the base of the old antenna, which I just had 18 millimeter. Yours may vary. And we're gonna basically just pull this off. And then I'm gonna pull that wire through, but I've got that string attached, so I'll be able to get back into the cab easily. So let me go ahead and pull this off. And here we go with the old fixture. And you guys know how this works, is these things kind of, I'm gonna have to hold on to this. So I gotta put the camera down because I gotta take this pretty seriously. But as you can see, there it is, we got it. Just like so. And then the new one's gonna go in. Okay, after some back and forth, trying to struggle to get this wire through, we did get the wire through by clipping off the old antenna and then tying a string, and then we wrapped it with some real thin electrical tape. At first we tried to use Gorilla tape, but it's too thick, wouldn't pull through that hole. We actually pulled the grommet all the way through that hole. The grommet was kind of mangled anyways, but that hole is what you gotta come through. And you can see it right there in the wall. So that's what you gotta get through. We got through, and now it's time. Let me show you guys. Time to get this antenna, new antenna, fixed on here. That's the next step. So guys, the whole reason that we installed the base of this antenna is because the old one just broke off and there was no screw. There was no way to install a universal antenna, a new antenna on the old base. So that's why I had to go in and take out the dash and run this wire through. It was really a pain. But so the base that you're looking at actually came with this antenna, which is a long metal one that kind of retracts. And Curtis gave this to me, the guy with the 78. The problem is that this is the same type of antenna that broke off on my old, on the truck before, the old antenna, only the old one didn't have a screw. And so as much as it's cool to have this base installed, I had previously purchased this shorty antenna, which is what we're gonna do. And so that's the next step. Really, one of the things I couldn't show you guys on camera was the process of getting this base in there. You had to flip those 2 feet around so that they go in this way, and then you flip them. And the problem is that we had to hold on to this, because if you lose this assembly, if it gets loose and that part slips down through, then you're in big trouble. It's lost in the fender, or you gotta pull the cord through again. So this is what we're gonna work with. The final step that we're gonna do is we're gonna shorten that up because there's a gap right there. And we're gonna shorten that screw up. So that's the next step. I think the final step is gonna be, we're gonna shorten this universal base screw, and then this shorty antenna is gonna sit a little more flush. Before we go ahead and put everything back together, I finally got the coaxial cable plugged into the back of the radio, and I dusted out the glove box. Before I put the glove box back in and everything, we're gonna give this we got the antenna up front. We're gonna give this a test run. This is gonna be the first play of the radio. I'm not even gonna start it up because the exhaust is gonna be too loud. Let's see. Okay, can't let that play too long or YouTube is gonna flag my channel for showing copyrighted content. But it plays, and it's that little shorty radio up front. So let me come around and show you guys. I think I will. Let's come on around here, take a look and see how that sits on there. Oh, is it sitting flush? There's a shot zoomed in. There we go. It's sitting pretty flush, looking good. Yeah, I think that's a replacement antenna right there. All right, this was the last step, was to go ahead and get that rubber grommet tucked back in there around that wire. And you can see, aside from that one little split, which helped it wrap around the wire, it's in there. So the job is about done.